And good morning, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is what I call my morning musings. We're involved in a study of the already, but the not yet. All scholars agree that the story of eschatology, the story of redemption, is presented in the New Testament as already initiated, awaiting final consummation. The major flaw in virtually all evangelical Christianity is the failure to honor the fact that the not yet of eschatology as presented in the New Testament is invariably put within a context of imminence. The day of the Lord, the judgment, the resurrection, was about to take place. In the previous segment, we began a study of Martyr Vindication as it relates to the already but the not yet. I shared with you that Martyr Vindication begins in Genesis, goes all the way to Revelation. I want to focus this morning on one key element of Martyr Vindication, and that is the judgment and the destruction of Satan, of the devil. This already but not yet is stated in very graphic terms. Just before his crucifixion, Jesus said in John chapter 12, 31 and 32, "Now is the judgment of this world. Now is the God of this world be cast out." You know, some have mistakenly argued that, well, that's it. There's the destruction of Satan. Well, if that's the destruction of Satan at the cross, then how could Paul be looking for the destruction of Satan future to him? Romans 16:20, "And now the God of peace shall crush Satan under your feet shortly." Paul wasn't looking back at the cross. The cross was the foundation and the impetus and the power of what was about to take place, but the destruction of Satan was about to take place. Now notice that when Paul talks about the cross, he talks about the cross as Christ triumphing over his enemies. Colossians 2:14. Well, that's true. But Paul also would go ahead to say, although Christ has put all things under his feet, yet we do not yet see all things under his feet. Do you see the already, but the not yet? The already of victory, the already of judgment of Satan, the already of judgment. And yet, the judgment of Satan is very clearly placed in the future, because the judgment of Satan is posited at the end of the millennium. Revelation chapter 20, of course. So throughout the New Testament, we have the story of the already judgment, the already defeat of Satan, the already triumph of Christ, the already of Christ putting all things under his feet, and yet at the same time, we have all of these New Testament statements of the coming victory over Satan. Again, Romans 16, "And now the God of peace shall crush Satan under your feet." Revelation chapter 20, the great white throne judgment in which the devil and his angels are cast into the fire. Now, lots of people like to say, well, it can't be true, can't be true, can't be true. Well, if we judge things by the eye and refuse to see things through God's eyes, that may be true. But once we see things through God's eyes and what he said he was accomplishing, then we can begin to see fulfillment. And as we shall see in the very next section, this already that had begun at the cross was about to be consummated at the parousia. Now, don't forget, I gave a presentation on the preterist view of the millennium at Criswell College, October the 12th, 2012. That presentation, I was there with Greg Beal, Kenneth Gentry, Greg Blazing, some other very, very prominent scholars. And my topic and theme was the millennium in regard to martyr vindication. You can have a free copy of that CD, which not one of those speakers even attempted to refute or to answer, by sending me just the postage. Won't charge a dime for the CD for the lesson. Send me $4.95 for postage. Go to PayPal. Send it to my email address. Say, Don, I want a copy of the Criswell presentation or the Martyr presentation, the Millennial presentation. Say, I saw the offer on YouTube, Facebook, $4.95. Thank you, by the way, for all those who've already responded. Get your copy of the Criswell presentation on the preterist view of the millennium through the eyes of martyr vindication. You will be absolutely amazed at what you see. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. And don't forget, we'll be continuing our study of the already and the not yet in regard to the destruction of Satan at Martyr Vindication on the flip side. We'll see you then.